to MotoBumbles. I'm out today for a little ride, purely because I've got some new tyres, but I thought, you know what, why not record it and let the world see my baby, my lovely bike. So here she is. It's the Triumph Street Scrambler 900cc in all its glory, and the tyres that I have gone for are the Pirelli Scorpion STR. I came from the stock Metzlers, which I found they were fine. They were all right, but the problem was the rear tyre was starting to square off. I believe the bike had those tyres from stock. The bike's got just over 9,000 miles on it, so it was definitely in need of some new rubber. So very glad to have got that done, and do you know what? Immediately I can tell the difference. It wants to lean over so much more. Just on a short sort of 15-20 minute ride, it's very fun, and I think it's a well worth improvement. So I'll definitely be sticking with these tyres for any other changes that I get. I've heard very good things about them for a bit of gravel road and B-laning and things like that, so I'll have to get around to doing that. But yeah, let's get into what I've got on my bike. So just for a bit of context, I've had it for maybe just over a year and a half, 2 years. Previous owner did a lot of the mods, but in the last sort of 6 months or so, yeah, I've been adding my own little bits and bobs. So let's run through what we've got. So of course, first off are the tyres. So these Scorpion Pirelli again, really nice deep tread on these. You can still see it's got the little baby hairs on it. It's got the high front fender, the slightly more custom, I believe they're still Triumph indicators. They work really nicely. Let me just turn it on so I can give you a quick demonstration. As you can see, front and back, those work really nicely in the daytime. So moving on, it's got the radiator grille as well. Obviously these are the sort of things that are definitely worth having. You don't know if they're saving you or not, but the fact of the matter is I've done quite a few miles on this bike already, and there's no sign of any damage to the radiator. Engine guards, this works fine. The only complaint I could potentially have is that my boot sometimes, if I'm sitting on it a bit funny, might just nudge this this crash bar here. But yeah, other than that, I've got the stock exhaust. I am thinking of doing, I won't touch it because it's hot, I'm thinking of doing the exhaust upgrade just to decat it. Going around to the middle, this is something I did in the last week. So this is a Tech Bike Parts center stand. It's absolutely brilliant. I think the stock Triumph one is 240 odd pounds. This was 90, and I fitted it all myself, and it works an absolute treat. Before we head to the back any further, we have the Denali Sound Bomb. This thing, I've installed it at a bit of a funny angle, purely just to keep it away from the exhaust, and because the mounting bracket it came with was a bit funny, but it is fine. It got filled with water once and now makes a bit of a clown sort of noise. Let me see if I can give you a quick demonstration. But still definitely very loud, very worth it. Those sort of safety features, yeah, it's a must-have upgrade. And on the back here we have a tail tidy as well. This tail tidy kit was installed by the last owner. I can't tell you where it's from, I don't know, I'm afraid. And it also has the little gel plates, which are quite nice. Just sort of tidies up that rear end. I really don't like it when bikes have the number plate right at the very back. It's just not very nice. As the keen-eyed around you might have spotted, there is the number board on the left with 278. I think this came from Triumph directly, potentially not. Again, another addition by the previous owner. It is indeed Steve McQueen's racing number. I'll put some details on the screen or in the description regarding this. But yeah, fantastic. Really nice addition to the lovely white and black scheme. On the front we've got the headlight grille. I have upgraded the bulb inside just to be a little brighter. I found the stock one a little dim. And the fly screen up here, I don't know how much this helps, but on the motorway I don't tend to have any issues with buffeting or being knocked around. Obviously if it's side winds you can't do much about that, but yeah, I definitely have it. And on the pannier rail at the back, which I did fit, it just sort of goes onto the suspension arm and the pillion mount, I believe. Is that where it goes? Yeah, just onto the back of the pillion mount. Is the iron and resin, straight from the States, roll top moto pannier. Absolutely brilliant. Attaches to the rear rack under the seat as well. It's just a roll top, completely waterproof. This thing sat outside in torrential downpours and it's been brilliant. It's got a little pocket on the front, also pretty waterproof. And yeah, zero complaints. It's got these nice sort of Krieger style latches, and it just doesn't come undone. Absolutely brilliant. Second to last, we do have the custom adjustable levers. These are brilliant, just make that grip so much nicer to operate. Works really well. And last but not least, we have the quad lock wireless mount. So I've just got it on a little arm here that comes in front of here. There was a brace that went over this. I took it off. I just didn't really have, well, first off I didn't need it, but also it just wasn't for me. I'd rather have the quad lock mount, and I can demo for it now. There we go. I often have it in this orientation, but of course if you want it to be a bit neater, you can have it like that so you can see the speedo. Maps just tends to work, Google Maps that is, tends to work a bit nicer like that. Highly recommend. These cases are fantastic. So what mods are on my list to do? Well, I'd absolutely love to do the mirrors, maybe potentially put them on the end, bring them down a bit. Next time the chain and sprocket needs replacing. It's a bit grubby at the moment. I do clean it, I promise. I'll potentially go with a nice DID gold sort of chain. I think that would really add to the bike. As for exhausts, I quite like the twin shotgun sort of cans. I'm definitely thinking of decatting it. I've heard very good things. I don't want to buy one of the cheap eBay Chinese specials. I'm probably gonna fork out and get one of the nice free spirits ones, just to let the engine breathe a little better. So what can I say about my experience riding it? Like I said, I've been on the bike for about 1.5 years. To give you a bit of history, I've been riding for probably about 3 years now. Started on a 125. I had a little Herald Brat in orange, gorgeous bike, picture on screen now. I love that thing, but it was time to move onto bigger and better things, so went and did my full license. I did it on a Honda something or other. I then, off the back of liking that, I decided I needed something to do motorway miles on, because it's what I needed at the time. So I ended up getting a CB500X, and that bike was absolutely brilliant. I still think about it these days. I did go and sit on the Transalp recently and was very tempted. It's a lovely bike, very similar to the 500X. So if you're thinking of that for an option, I would highly recommend. So I then had the 500X. I then went to this as a bit of a treat to myself. So it is a gorgeous bike. It rides really nicely. It's got that lovely torque on it. You can overtake very easily. All of the range is within legal speeds. There you can of course break the law if you want to, but most of the fun is sort of in that 0 to 70 range. You don't really need much more than that, and it's just got all that grunt right there available to you. It can manage 70 very, very easily, no problems with that at all. I've been motor camping quite a lot on this. I've been up to Wales a few times, planning a trip down to Goodwood next week, and also somewhere northern France. My other half's doing her big bike license as well, so lots more adventures to come soon. But this thing holds luggage really, really nicely. You can carry a lot on it and you really don't feel it. You can go for a long time. I usually get about, riding it normally, having a bit of fun, leaving it maybe a gear lower than you should, you usually get between 140 150 with my Lardos on it. And you can get 0 to 60 relatively quick, faster than most cars these days. So I'll put a clip on screen now of me doing, I think it was a rolling start, 0 to 60, but you get the idea of how fast it can accelerate. It's a bike, what do you expect? So before I leave you, thank you very much for watching. More to come soon, stay tuned. Any questions or comments, please leave them below and give us a like and subscribe. You might even be our first. Thank you, cheerio.